Good evening, guys. This is TeamAlphaTaskForce. I appreciate all the preppers out there tuning in, but I think now is the time to talk about the topic of firearms. Um, so I'm going to talk about this because it is a essential part of prepping. However, I'm not a firearms channel. I don't claim to be. I don't claim to be the expert, the all-knowing expert. But when we do operate in safety. I'm not going to do every single safety check on every time I put a gun up here. But before we operate one of these, we're going to look at the safety tips that the NRA provides. Okay, so before you watch my videos, some of the ways we train. We do train with airsoft sometimes. We train with the real guns as well. We haven't got into that much training with real weaponry because I do feel that we need to have the basics in ergonomics and all that for the airsoft field before we go to the real thing as far as team-based training. So keep that in mind when you see my videos. Know that we're not a gun gun channel, gun reviewer, all that stuff. I may at some point go back to doing some reviews, but I can't do the reviews as good as other people do. I may do it related to what I do, but couple pointers. Always keep this the gun pointed in a safe direction. That's rule number one. Number two, always keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. That's demonstrated like this. Don't put your finger on the trigger unless you plan to shoot whatever's in front of that trigger. Keep it off to the side. Number three, keep the gun unloaded until use. So keep it unloaded until you're ready to use it. A couple other things. You need to know what's behind your target and what's beyond it. Not just right behind it, but what else is infected if you do pull the trigger. Know how to use the gun safely. And you can go to actual shooting ranges, or you can go to tactical class-taking methods I've seen people do, but have safety integrated into your training. Be sure the gun is safe to operate before you do fire it. If you see loose parts or something that may be broken, don't fire the weapon. Check it out first. Use only the correct ammunition in your gun. You don't want situations to blow up in your face, literally. Speaking of your face, always to make sure you wear eye protection and ear protection as appropriate. Never drink or use prescription drugs while you're shooting or before you're shooting. That's just common sense. Don't do it. Store your guns so they are not accessible to unauthorized people. Many police officers, many people that are legally allowed to use weapons in their job lose their job because of that. So make sure you store it safely and securely. Be aware that certain types of guns and many shooting victims or activities, they all require additional safety precautions because of the activities. These victims that get shot during these things, and they don't have safety. So don't be a victim. And if you're doing shooting activities, put in those extra safety precautions. You just don't want to, be one of those guys on the news because he was a complete idiot while shooting. So, last but not least, cleaning. Make sure your weapon's clean. Make sure you stay on that. Access your parts, and just go over your whole gear check and everything before you go out, and your team does this. So think about these things before you watch these next couple clips and videos of our training. And not everything's done by the book. You do have to improvise and adapt and overcome on certain scenarios and situations. But just you'll see a progression from our beginning of the training, which was filmed a year ago, till some newer current stuff. We are changing everything up, and we are learning a lot more every day we go out. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay? Thanks.